Hi, my name is Sidney and I play Alona, and this is what you missed in Season 2, Episode 35 of Edge of Legend. Episode 100. It's Episode 100 of Edge of Legend. As the ritual to banish camouflage is interrupted, time slows. Shionibis is acutely aware of this and rouses everyone into the present moment. But that's where they hear scribbling and muttering coming out of nowhere. Out of thin air materializes this form, writing in a gigantic tome whispering about the party. When approached, the figure is noticeably confused and reactionary, expressing that the party should not be able to see him. He reveals that he has many names, going by the scrivener or the writer, but his primary objective is to write down everything the party does. Where they are right now is in between the margins, also known as in between realities, and either he needs to leave or they do. Realizing that their entire future and past lies in that tome that man is holding close to his chest, Ichi and Dragon attempt to take it from him, but the writer escapes, or so he thought. Unbeknownst to him, that Dragon did in fact swipe a page from the very beginning of the book, and that's where things get even weirder. The room starts to wobble as reality shifts in on itself, and then all of a sudden, their eyes open, and before them they see 4 figures and a voice welcoming them. The voice is the leader of the gods himself, Azamat, and next to him is his partner Tarzamat. But even stranger are the 2 gods next to them, Magadon and Ravan, the betrayers of the 7 glories and rulers of hell. The party has been sent back to the beginning, where it all started, and they are trapped in their new forms. Lothier is in the form of the brave-hearted god of love, Adaraya. Dragon has ended up in the body of the good-natured goddess of the harvest, family, and health, Iga. Ilona has been put in the peaceful iteration of the last sigh, the goddess of death, Hamasa. Shionibis has landed in the bubbly, beautiful embodiment of Leifer, the goddess of the written word and storytelling. Ichi has been shoved in the brutal, overpowered form of Koga, the god of war and weaponry. And let's not forget our NPCs, Morel and Tobias, who have become Al-Safar, the god of merchants, and Shah, the god of dreams, respectively. We learn that the party arrives right before Magadon betrays Azamat and starts the War of the 7 Glories, the one that ultimately throws Tarzamat and the other demon lords into the 9 realms of hell, and leaves Azamat brutally wounded after he cannot bring Tarzamat back with him to the realm of the heavens. It all starts with an argument between Magadon and Azamat, where Magadon expresses his desire to rule over the Celestials in the 7 Glories, and Azamat refuses. But Magadon, along with his brother Ravan, whom he has convinced to stand beside him, descend upon the 7 Glories, and with the help of the demon lords begin to take over. This throws the pantheon into chaos as sides are chosen and world-shattering decisions are made. All of this being recorded by Leifer, who begins the Astrogenicon. The war endures for what seems like centuries, but towards the end, Adaraya takes damage from Ravan in an attempt to convince him it's his duty to stop his brother. This speaks to Ravan, and the brothers begin to quarrel, their conflict crashing through the world and creating the 9 levels of hell where they still fight to this day. But as they fall, Magadon summons his eye, the one given to Azamat to prove his loyalty, and was kept clasped around Tarzamat's neck. This pulls Tarzamat into hell, with Azamat unable to reach her. The domain of hell corrupts Tarzamat, so by the time Azamat does eventually battle his way through hell to save her, she's already lost. Upon realizing this, his heart is ripped from his body, and he returns to the 7 Glories defeated and broken. His only source of comfort is his friend Adaraya, who endures the pain with him as he processes his grief. Time passes, and the gods are called to the court of Iudex, with the god of orcs, Gorm, on the stand. Gorm and Koga have been fighting for millennia, and he has been captured to end their strife. But Gorm keeps speaking of the darkness that came before. He says the moon has a face, and there is darkness in parts of the world unbeknownst to those who have not seen it. He ensures his people will be fine without him, and he requests to be locked away in the astral heavens, preparing for the day he is needed to fight. But all goes silent, as an eerie presence befalls them and the moon turns around. a large purple tongue emerging out of a widespread smile. He reveals himself as Kamba, the king of nightmares. Kamba threatens the gods, informing them that his family knows them. They see them, and they say hello. He has been fighting the king who cries, and everyone's attention turns to Shah, who has been dreaming since his creation. He has been trapped in the realm of nightmares for centuries, and Adaraya, Lothier, looks over to see the embodiment of Shah crying, terrified. Adaraya restores Tobias' sanity with a wish, and banishes Kamba, but only for a time. But not long after, the god of the seas, Half, approaches the rest of the gods, informing them that there is something dark and powerful in the deepest depths of the ocean that is rousing and must be destroyed or locked away. When the gods descend to investigate, they are accompanied by a not-so-old man Tanin and Arbad, among other wormkin who have been assisting Half in this fight. The form they face turns out to be Rialach, the father of the gods of madness, who has been around since the time of creation. In order to restrain Rialach, the gods create an astral labyrinth deep in the ocean and seal him away, cursing him to fight the echoes of himself for eternity. Back in the astral heavens, Azamat reveals to the gods that he has a brood of eggs, the children of him and Tarzamat, before she fell. The majority have hatched, leaving one, who he argues is the most important of all and must be safe at all costs. The egg contains Remidamat, the baby dragon god of peace, also known as Little Remy. So the gods swear to protect him and hide him in his egg form from the rest of the world. But then we cut to the realm of the dead, where none of the gods can see. There, we see Thane Animus, who is in contention with Hamasa for the domain of the underworld. He has just made a deal with Magaddon, the details of which we do not know. All that we hear is that even gods must die. Then, as the Bone Lord of the Dead and the god of the Soul Well, he is also approached by Koramat, and all we hear from that interaction is, "What would you have of me?" And that is what you need to know from Season 2, Episode 35, aka 100, of Edge of Legend. Make sure to tune in Wednesdays, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to the Nat20 Productions official channel on Twitch to catch the newest episodes of Edge of Legend as they happen. We look forward to seeing you in chat as you become legends right alongside us. And I just wanted to say, from everyone that works on the show throughout the years, every cast member, every producer, every editor, all of us, thank you for being here for 100 episodes, and we hope to make 100 more. Thanks for watching!